Hey everyone, welcome to the Withering Effect, episode 155. Today's date is August 28th, 2022, and I am Duds, or Duds Versus, known to the rest of the interwebs.
And I'm Jimbo. You may know me as Jimbo Slice 23. So what have you been up to this week, Duds?
I started my main base.
Did you place blocks? Because I remember we removed trees.
Finally placed some blocks.
Okay.
This
That wasn't the start, though.
The worst part is I'm already a week behind on this episode, and it was starting to wear on me. The fact I only have 7 minutes recorded. My plan was this weekend just to sit down and crank it all out, just finish the episode, and I haven't even gotten close to finishing. I'm realizing that the building part of my episode is essentially done, and I have nothing else planned but digging. And if I'm going to be doing digging, it's 2 days worth of digging with a beacon.
Okay. Yeah, you did get your beacon.
Yeah.
So you'll have haste. All right. It's still going to take that long?
It's still going to take that long. It's a big room.
Ugh.
And I'm still not even building with blocks yet. I would still have to go gather materials to build with. So it's do I continue to work on this project for the episode, or do I find something else to work on this episode to kind of buy some time until I can really get into it and go at it? I really wish I had some TNT flying machines to do some digging for me.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I just had a massive yawn. I haven't yawned all night.
I think that was a yawn. I was pretty sure.
It definitely was. But yeah, it's a weird spot in my episode, and I feel bad because of how long this episode's taking to come out. It is what it is.
Yeah.
It really is just this odd limbo of I know what I want to work on, and I know what I've prepped myself mentally to work on, but I have to force myself through this other project to get to that point.
Mm.
And then once I get to that point, the ball is just going to be rolling. I'm going to be throwing things together left and right, and it's going to be awesome. But I kind of drudge through this.
I'm kind of in the same situation.
Yeah. But other than starting my base, which honestly, I really like how my base looks. If you've watched me, first season of Comiccraft, that base, the fascia of that base, I took a huge inspiration from that.
Okay.
So it's a very nice throwback. And I'm doing this ultra modern ruined build this season.
That's different.
Yeah, there's two combinations of building themes that are very different from each other that I think's going to work very well when it's done. In the process of building it, it's going to look boring and bad.
Huh.
But when completed, it should look pretty good together.
Okay.
Other than that, I have retired my Xbox One controller.
What?
I have been using, for an Xbox Elite controller.
Oh, I thought it was going to be something crazy.
No.
Like a mouse pad keyboard.
No. Why would I ever use those? Can't use those to play Java Minecraft.
You can turn to the left and right a little quicker?
Yeah. But you can't spin without stopping. I can. Last week, I think it was, or last episode, talked about I found $100 laying around my room.
Mm-hmm.
And my controller itself, the left and right triggers were starting to fail. Every 3 to 4 clicks, they just wouldn't click. And my back buttons had already started to wear out to the point where instead of a soft click, they were a clack, 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 clack.
Huh.
So I was having to play with my controller underneath the desk, and my arms would essentially be halfway. I don't know why I'm trying to show you guys. You can't see me. My arms were halfway underneath the desk to try to hide the sound.
I can see it.
Yeah.
I can see it.
So I ended up going and buying the Xbox Elite Series 2. It already comes with back buttons on the back side of it. It already works with my REWSAD program. All I had to do was get a new keyboard to put on the bottom of my controller. Because I still do need some keyboard functionality.
Right. Yeah, I was going to ask. You were able to use that. You got a different one, not the same one.
I bought the same keyboard attachment, just the newer version.
Okay.
So my old controller, I physically had to build that one. I epoxied buttons into it, epoxied the controller into it. And so there was no taking it apart. So yeah, I just kind of retired it. But I have the same functionality as I did before. I would have more if Xbox wasn't stupid.
What did they do?
My REWSAD program I have recognizes that the Xbox Elite controller has 4 extra buttons on the backside.
Uh-huh.
Will let you program those 4 extra buttons however you want. But the stupid Xbox app that you have to use to set up these profiles makes those back 4 buttons be one of the buttons on your controller. If you unmap it, it turns them off so they don't work anymore. I got excited for half a second because I thought I was like, man, I got 4 extra buttons to play with now. Heck yeah.
Make them whatever you want. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it was just like, Xbox was like, no.
I
was like, whatever.
Yeah, what's the point?
Yeah, it's still a really nice controller. You can tell it definitely is a much higher build quality than the one I had been playing on for the last 3 years. Yeah, that controller was 3 years old. I'm surprised it lasted as long as it did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, new controller, new duds. I did almost die on the way home from picking up my controller.
Did you?
That was something stupid. So I don't go places. Usually when I go or when I want something, I just have it delivered. Going places, there's too many people in the world that don't think. And this is exactly what happened. I was on the interstate coming home. I was in the right-hand lane. I had a car in front of me. I had a car behind me. And I had a car on my left-hand side. Mind you, if you are a car on the left-hand side and you're not actively passing the person to your right, do not get in that lane.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
That's what that lane's for. If you're riding next to me, so basically I had 3 cars box me in. And then a car tried to merge on the interstate. Well, it's going about the same speed as me. Then I see it tap its brakes. So I went, okay, it recognizes it needs to slow down to get behind me and this other car that's behind me also. Well, no, it tapped its brakes and then stomped the gas and then decided to just push its way into my lane. Luckily, the car to my left and the car behind me were paying attention, and they got out of my way because I had to whip the steering wheel and slam on I locked up. My car literally turned about 45 degrees and skid in the middle of the interstate.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you did almost die.
Trying to dodge his car. I've worn in a spot on my brakes that I'm going to have to fix now, where it just, and I mean, my hands wouldn't stop shaking. And all this guy did was, he literally didn't just get into the lane I was in. He crossed over into the next lane and then took off flying past people.
Wow.
I was like, this is why I don't go anywhere. I'm not going anywhere anymore. Screw this.
People drive like that here. It happens.
So dumb.
Yeah, they're everywhere. But yeah, I didn't almost die this week, but in Minecraft I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I died and lost everything.
Oh no.
Yeah, I after our adventure, I guess we could start with that.
Mm-hmm.
We went and raided a deep dark.
Yes.
Just something I think we should tell the audience how it went, what we think.
Yeah, we should finally go over how we think ancient cities are.
Yeah, it was an ancient city. Yeah, not just the deep dark, but yeah, had the loot and everything. I'll tell you what was going through my mind.
Mm-hmm.
You played it pretty good. You're going around, you're placing your wool.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Nothing can hear the wool being placed.
Mm-hmm.
If you open up a chest, you block it up with wool.
Yep.
I thought I was, doing that every once in a while. Like I would walk over a sensor, and there are shriekers everywhere. So you don't want to hit any of these sensors, none, or else you could very possibly hit a shrieker or set off a shrieker. Then I'm thinking, okay, if I break this shrieker, it'll be gone. I won't have to mess with it anymore. The shrieker will be gone. That sets off other shriekers. So yeah, I ended up setting off 3,
mm-hmm.
and the warden spawns. But not just one time. It spawned many times because
you kept setting them off.
Yeah, I was getting reckless. There's a lot of loot there. Now, I'll leave it to you to explain the loot situation.
Hint, hint, it's not worth it. The amount of trouble you have to go through if you don't want to spawn the warden, the amount of wool you kind of need to go through to play it super smart is insane. You basically need a wool farm. If you want to play it haphazardly and swoop in, grab things, get out real quick, that's actually probably the best technique. Just don't worry about setting the warden off. Just pick a direction before the darkness hits.
Mm-hmm.
And fly into it and hope you don't smack your head on anything. That's actually a very good strategic thing.
Yeah.
The ancient cities look beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
They are very cool looking. I'll give them that. Random mobs still spawn in them. Or spawn right next to them and walk in.
Yeah, right outside of them. But you'll catch them in there every once in a while.
I never saw one set off a Shrieker, so that was a good thing. But the loot, yeah. After playing with Swift Sneak 3 for a while, honestly, I could care less.
Yeah.
I don't think it's really worth it. Maybe Swift 1 or 2 is more my style.
Not taking the full speed sneak.
For backing, like, when are you constantly holding the crouch button? It's when you're walking backwards and placing blocks.
I hit crouch a lot more than I should.
Maybe it's just me and I'm a controller player, so I don't do that.
Maybe.
Yeah, for me, I only walk backwards and place blocks. And at that pace, it's constantly go stop, go stop, go stop, go stop. And that sets off my motion sickness. And it's like, yeah, you know what? This isn't the greatest thing in the world.
Okay, yeah, you got the motion sickness thing.
Yeah, so Swift Sneak 1 or 2 might be better. I haven't tried those yet.
Yeah, I mean, sneaking in the ancient cities be ideal for Swift Sneak.
Yes. No, you're absolutely correct.
Yeah, because you gotta, I mean, even if you're not on wool, I'm always, my conscience is telling me to sneak regardless, just because it is terrifying. Once the warden comes, and my idea was, like you said, just fly away. He can't fly. He just fly away.
Yeah, the problem with Jimbo's theory is I didn't have an elytra.
Yeah, well, I had an elytra, and I couldn't see where I was flying. It gets so dark. I'm pretty sure that was the idea of this darkness, to where
you couldn't fly away.
You can run, but you don't know where you're running. You have to have an idea of your surroundings before you go in there. Now, I did find a way to get away a lot quicker, and that's ender pearls.
True. No, you're right.
My first thought was, I'm going to throw a pearl, and it's going to set something off when I land somewhere else. No, the pearl does not set anything off. Unless you hit a wall and you fall, hit the ground, you could set something off in that sense. But if it hits something and you land, that pearl, you're not making a noise. It doesn't have that, I guess. It doesn't sense that. That's the easiest way I found to get away. Have a thing of pearls, pick a direction, and throw it that way. I was able to get away from wardens that way. This was after our little adventure, but we were able to tackle it. We were able to do it. Not with that. What I die 3 times? 2 times? I want to say 3. And then you ended up dying. You lost a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I lost everything.
Well, I saved a bunch of stuff. I come down, grab some.
Well, let's talk about this game mechanic malfunction is what I'm going to call it.
Okay.
So what happened was Jimbo set off the warden, and he was able to fly away and get away safely. I was sniffed out. The sniffing mechanic, I think, is overkill, especially from the distance and the range I was at.
Yeah.
I had pillared all the way up into the ceiling, and yet the warden still somehow was able to sniff me out. They used the sonic boom attack on me, and I dropped all my stuff. Well, I dropped all my stuff onto a sensor, so that sensor just constantly went off, so the warden never despawned.
Yeah, and he was constantly running around that sensor because I think actually when I went down there to grab your stuff, it was a hoe.
Yes.
There was a hoe hovering up over it, the item as if you were to die, and it just laying there. Yeah, it's setting off the sensor, so it's just sitting there bobbing up and down, and the warden was distracted by it. I was able to go in there and grab most of your stuff. I was kind of too terrified to just mosey around and grab everything, but I grabbed what I could and got out of there. But I think I would have had time to grab everything.
Yeah, looking back on it, how distracted the warden was by that stupid hoe. Yeah, you probably could have.
Right.
But it was because we had to wait for the hoe to despawn and then for the warden to give up and go away. It's just, that seems a bit of a busted mechanic. Same with bats. So bats don't actually set anything off except for the sensors. Like the sensors, if a bat goes off, they will go off, but they won't set off a shrieker. But you still are constantly thinking you set off a sensor because of bats.
Yeah, it freaks you out.
Mm-hmm.
The sensor thing's pretty neat. It's a cool mechanic, but it's kind of scary just to hear it, just from being in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the sound of it now, just from, trying to avoid it.
Yeah.
But luckily, we were together. We were able to grab most of your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We did find, a Lena Rain. There were more echo shards in there than we initially thought.
Yes, we didn't think you would be able to get one death compass.
Yeah.
From an ancient city. We ended up splitting our echo shards, and we had enough for 2 death compasses.
Yeah, I went to the other city, and I think I got enough for 4 now. So there's echo shard. There's ways to get this compass.
Yeah.
Oh, and another thing, we went on a website to find a city. We're like, okay, it looks like there's one about so many thousands of blocks out.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that far. What was it? 5,000 by 6,000, something like that. Nothing crazy. We could fly there.
Yeah.
And on the way there, we ran into some mountains. So this is 2,000 by 1,000. Not nearly as far. We're you mentioned that normally they spawn under mountains. So we checked just in case with, what was that mod?
FreeCam.
FreeCam. Yeah, we checked with FreeCam. Sure enough, there's 2 ancient cities under these mountains that weren't on the map. So I'm not convinced, but it seems like they spawn where the mountains are. I mean, odds are there's one there.
And that's what I heard. I heard if you find a pretty big mountain to check underneath it, because usually you'll find an ancient city there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the whole reason I had stopped us and said, "Oh, well, hang on, let's go check real quick."
Yeah.
And sure enough.
I don't think it was all that map. I don't think it generated on the website. I don't know. It's just weird. So yeah, you come across a mountain or looking for an ancient city, there's a way to find it. And I was a little, I don't know, put off about, them being so rare that you might need something to help you find it. But odds are there's one under a big mountain, then it shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, worked out real well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we found some allays.
Yeah.
And man, I wish allays would teleport to you instead of trying to path.
Yeah, you're not going to fly with it. You cannot fly with them.
It's bad. Allay AI is so much worse than I thought it could be. And they're just kind of a gimmick now. The way I see people using them the most is quite literally trapping them in sorting systems. And even then, from the people I've heard who use the allays in the sorting systems, they don't pick up as much as they should.
Huh. Yeah, it's weird.
They still miss items. So it's better to have a circular sorting system so that the item would come by 2 or 3 times. Yeah.
What's funny is I found my allay on the way back.
Mm-hmm.
I was in a boat and it couldn't keep up. I was in a boat going top speed. So it's you got to slow down for these things. And that's not, I don't know. Yeah, the teleporting, not even teleporting, speed them up. Just speed them up a little bit.
True. Bedrock's listening live asking if you could fly with him on a lead. It breaks the lead really quick.
Yeah, I've never tried it.
I tried it once, and I snapped the lead twice before I realized it was better to just kind of glide, land, toss a couple items down, and then when they throw the items back at you, go ahead and try to gently take off, fly, land, toss a couple items down.
I had mine on a lead at my base, and it kept breaking the lead on the pole. If it wants to get to you bad enough, it'll break that lead. So that's another thing to watch out for. It's best to keep them in boats or minecarts.
Yeah.
Or cage them up, which, doesn't sound too friendly.
Yeah. See, I had this plan for allays, and I don't think I'm going to do it this season. The way my base is going to lay out is going to be this big open room. Think Ripple Effect Season 3, my dome, but on a larger scale. And my plan was to have allays flying back and forth in this room, delivering and dropping off items.
Ooh.
And it was going to look really cool. But it's I can't trust their AI to do anything.
I don't know. That would look really cool. I don't know how much of a distance they would travel to drop it off at that.
At least 35 blocks.
Yeah. Is that how far they go? Is that the distance? Or...
No, that's the distance, the gap I would need. At least 35. It's probably more like 45, 50.
35 might be doable. I don't know. I've never messed with the mechanics. I don't know if there's a range for it. So
right.
That would be cool to see, though. I like that idea.
It would be cool.
On the part where I lost everything, I, just got done raiding the Deep Dark with you. I come back and I'm working on redstone at my base, getting prepared for my next episode. I gotta add things to my base because this is an ancient ruins. I'm discovering things, so I gotta add, tombs and tunnels and stuff and secret entrances. So I'm doing all that behind the scenes, and I feel like that's lost content right there, but it's all for the story, I guess. But after building this piston door, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take a break and I'm gonna go do some looting at the bastions. I haven't got pig step yet, so I wanted to get pig step.
Mm-hmm.
So I go out, I head north. In the nether, you just can't go north because there's walls that appear. So you got to go like east and west and, weave around and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm out in the middle of nowhere and I'm going through these bastions and I'm taking them out left and right. And I find pig step. I'm getting netherite. I'm feeling like invincible, right? None of these brutes can get to me. They can't touch me. And then I'm like, okay, I had enough. I got enough loot here. I'm going to head back. So I'm thousands of blocks away. I think I was, 6,000 by 5,000 in the negative 1,000. But I'm heading home and I'm running into them again because you take a different route when you head back to 0-0. And the second one I came across, I pretty much had it beat. All I had to do is head to the bottom. There's a couple more chests there and I'm going down and, I'm shooting the pigmen as I see them, or the piglins and the brutes. And the brutes are all dead. I'm aiming down at one of the hoglins. It's one of those hoglin places and where they all spawn through the bastions. And I'm shooting at it, and behind me is a pigman or a piglin. Man, I keep confusing all these pigs, but he knocks me down into the hoglins. So I'm like, oh
no.
crap. So I'm like jumping around. I get away and I'm shooting my bow. I'm keeping my distance and everything. I back into a pocket of lava.
Oh no.
A 1 square block of lava, and I fall into it. And my health is already kind of low from fighting these things off, but I'm eating and I'm surviving in this lava with my netherite gear and my fire protection. I don't have the potion, but I'm in there. I'm trying to eat and I'm panicking, trying to get up, but I'm also trying to dig, and I'm hitting all these buttons, in panic mode. And I go to get up. I'm finally about to get my head out of the surface, and a piglin just slices me and kills me right there in the pocket of lava. So I know I have netherite gear, and I know some of this stuff could have spilled over into the bastion, so there could be things saved. I know all of my netherite gear could have been probably still floating there in the lava because it doesn't get damaged by that.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no way I'm going to be able to find where I was because I didn't have anything recorded. It's always nice to try to record your coordinates.
Well, that's your last death, right?
Yeah. Oh,
you have a death compass.
Oh, I can use my death compass.
Use your death compass. The thing I said was...
Oh, I'm so glad I mentioned this story.
You have to have a follow-up if the death compass helped you get your stuff back or not.
Oh, I'm going to record it. It's going to go in my episode. But yeah, I will mention it.
Nice.
We'll do a spoiler thing if it'll be even before the episode. If it airs, I will make sure to let the audience know. I don't know why I didn't think of that. This is something I never used before.
Right.
Didn't cross my mind. But yeah, that's how I died. But man, yeah, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna try to get my netherite gear. I won't be able to do it today, but yeah, I'll keep the chat posted.
Cool.
This would be fun. I'm excited now. I thought all was lost. I was depressed. Thought I had to start over.
I know, because you're at that point because you haven't gotten to play a lot this season. Even I'm not even to that point yet. Where just redoing all your gear isn't a fast thing.
Yeah.
And that was my whole thing. The later into a season, when you're all set up and with villagers trading and all that stuff, the death compass is kind of worthless. But where you're at right now, the death compass could be quite handy.
Yeah, definitely.
Should we hop into the news?
Yeah, we better.
Oh yeah. 30 minutes in, we're just not getting to the news.
Mm-hmm. I definitely wanted to share that deep, dark, ancient city raid because we've been, we haven't got to deal with it, so.
Oh, no, yeah. Completely.
Mm-hmm.
Great call. News!
Yes.
I'm excited because we finally have something to talk about when it comes to the news.
Big news.
Minecraft Live is October 15th. You guys guessed it on the date on Spotify. So I wanted to put, I think I guessed it within 11 days. Jimbo, did you guess it within a week?
I don't know. When did I guess it? I forget.
Because you won the last bet of the year.
Oh, okay.
And now the Spotifyers guessed it to the day.
Right. Okay, I know what you mean.
I think the Withering effect just predicts the future.
What's weird is like what was there like 7 options?
There's 7 options.
Carl left, and the audience, most of the audience picked the 15th, so that was the winner, and it ended up being not even a week later after we gave the result. It came out in the news that it's October 15th. I was like, holy crap.
Yep. I think last episode we put out there that it is October 15th, but me and you both were thinking like November, late October at the earliest.
Well, I was thinking October, but when I brought up Minecraft Now, that thing they did on YouTube, I thought it said August. I was thinking October.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, it might be around that time, not thinking that it was 4 days from now. I'm thinking it was October. No, it said August. I don't know what I was thinking. That's why are they going to release it before October 27th? Because if they were to do that and have a live event, the audience would keep just, full of questions about this update that they saw a week before they do this live event. So that's the only thing that was crossing my mind, but it wasn't in October. It's in August. I just confused the crap out of myself.
Well, I ended up watching the Minecraft Now for this past week where they announced October 15th. And to me, the big thing is they mention on how they're going to handle the Firefly incidents and the Birch Forest incident. And the fact that they're not going to put anything on there that hasn't been developed or basically late in its development cycle. So anything early in the development cycle that looks like it might not make it in, we're not going to see, which I am 100% okay with.
Yeah.
I'd rather not have my hopes busted, popped,
bursts,
whatever you want to say, burst, whatever you want to say. I'd rather not have that than have it done. My biggest worry is you'll see a lot of people go, well, that's it. So I'm hoping we don't get that. I'm hoping there's still a good bit of stuff that we can get excited for, because the last couple, I looked back after 1.16 and the Nether update, we had Caves and Cliffs Part 2, and then the Wild update, which basically just felt Caves and Cliffs Part 3.
Mm-hmm.
And so like we've had 3
Caves and Cliffs,
not great updates, at least in my personal opinion. The terrain generation, is great and everything, but I've been waiting for certain things to get updated for a while now. I'm hoping for a bit of a change up. We don't just get a biome update this time, but I don't know. I'm excited.
It's hard not to be.
Yeah, it's the first time I've been excited in a while for Minecraft Live.
Mm-hmm. And it's awesome when like you see the update coming, and sometimes you're thinking, this. It's always exciting at the beginning, but then you think about it, you're like, oh, this is cool, and then the pre-release comes out and everything. But the fact that they don't show you everything just means things will just keep getting added.
Mm-hmm.
Not always, but they could add things at any time. So that's the most exciting part. What could come out the next week? Bigger news. We're not going to talk about everything at once. Week after week could be something new. So that's always exciting.
Yeah, I think for the 1.16 Minecraft Live, now someone correct me, but as far as I remember, we only got Warped Forest, Crimson Forest, and Soul Sand Valleys. And then, like, later on in the development cycle, we got Bastions. And then really later on in the development cycle, we got Piglin Brutes. Like, Piglin Brutes was 1.16.2 or something like that.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it was I think it was 0.2.
Yeah. But Bastions, I remember, we're like, it could be next month that 1.16 gets released, and they're like, bam, here's a Bastion. I was just like,
yeah.
Wait, what?
I remember us talking about, we have these, these new piglins. They got to have a place to live, so maybe there's a village, and we brought up different places where they could live, and then they gave us the Bastion, which is pretty on cue.
Exactly.
So yeah, I like that process. To where give us what we know we're getting, even if it's the bare minimum.
Mm-hmm.
Add things as they get polished, I guess.
Yes, Bedrock is talking about they killed fireflies for the poison thing, not so for the technical reason. Yes, they did say that. We all know that's not true, though. It's got to be, because you had the same situation with parrots, and you just changed the parrot food source, so you should be able to do that again. In frogs. Oh wait, they did do that, and they made it slime.
Right.
But I think the real reason we don't have fireflies is because 2 little pixels didn't look good, probably caused excessive lag that you don't really need.
The eating animation is pretty cool with the tongue and everything, and I think they wanted that, just in the swamp in general, but you still get it with the slimes. Slimes spawn in swamps, so you'll get to see it.
Well, do they actually eat slime? I think they only eat the small magma.
No, they'll eat slime and they'll drop the slime ball. Slime ball is how you breed them.
Yeah, I know the slime ball is how you breed them, but I didn't know they would go ahead and eat baby slimes also on top of that and then poop out a slime ball.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I haven't really messed with frogs that much.
No, me neither. I'd like to.
But yeah, there were some Bedrock updates, some small parity fixes, some crashing fixes. Honestly, if you're listening to us to get Bedrock news, I'm sorry. I kind of glance over the change logs and look for anything big.
This is why we have Bedrock guests.
It really is.
They let us know about what's going on in Bedrock.
Yeah, we got a new Dungeons trailer, but it kind of felt a lot like the other trailers. Not really telling me a lot, just more things riding around on horseback and such, waving banners, calling armies.
Not the dungeons, the other.
Oh, Legends, yes, Minecraft Legends, my bad.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Doesn't really tell you how the game is played, though.
I'm sure it's based off of another popular way to play a game, and it's just a mechanic we're not used to.
Yeah, it could be. I think that's it for the news.
That's it for the news.
There's some news, though. Got some news.
Let's go ahead and start with the Spotify question.
Okay.
Carl asks, which inventory ideas do you guys like the best? And the winner by 24% was auto block replenish from inventory. That's like my least favorite one.
I kind of liked it. I mean, didn't you need some kind of enchantment for that? Or would it just be a thing? I don't know how it worked.
I can't remember.
Maybe it was just a thing to where if it's in your inventory, it'll automatically replenish the block that you're using, that you're placing. Yeah, I don't mind that one. Kind of liked it. But the other ones were what? Middle click from a distance. You liked that one. I wasn't too big into it.
I liked it, but it wasn't my favorite one. Infinitory was my favorite one. And extra offhand slots seemed cool.
Yeah. There's also all-in-one tool. I don't know. All-in-one tool, I wasn't a big fan of that. That got 11% of the votes. I'm surprised. The least favorite was the wood recipes skipping, which I totally agree. Means if you have a block of wood, you can just place stairs, which is, I don't know, defeats the purpose of the crafting.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to defeat the purpose of half the game.
Right. Yeah, because I like these Spotify votes. We had 96 votes. Pretty good.
Yeah. I think more people voted on the Spotify thing than we did Mending Minecraft this week.
Yeah.
I'm looking it up. Hang on. Voting channel.
Yeah, it's definitely.
Yeah, more people voted for the Spotify than Biome of the Week.
Which is a Discord thing, so kind of makes sense.
Yeah. We do have more Spotify listeners than we do Discord members. You want to go ahead and read yours?
Yeah, we have a couple questions also. One here from Warrior. They ask if 1.20 only added one block, what block would you want? Example, marble, steel, etc. And what functionality would it have? That's a good question. I never really thought about, a certain one block. Usually you would like many types of that block.
Yeah. The marble thing, I think calcite already fills that role really well.
Iron is steel, pretty much.
Yeah, I won't say stairs and slabs because that's an obvious thing for everything. And I think they're wanting like a just straight up
one block.
I
was thinking, I don't know if that would go with it. It would kind of go with the steel thing, the iron thing, and the copper. How it, oxidizes. Maybe you can have a rust block. Maybe steel turns to rust.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm sure they make it look cool, but that's the only thing I could think of off the top of my head as of right now. Let me keep thinking it. I'll keep thinking.
Well, you can't keep thinking. I'm thinking.
Well, I gotta think.
I had it in my mind when I wrote the question down for the notes, and then it all went away the second you read it. And it was some kind of alloy.
What if we got something completely different, like a fog block?
Ooh,
like a cloud you can place. Huh?
That could be really cool.
Like a smoke block. Ooh.
I think that would work better as like a potion effect.
Yeah.
That's not bad. Wood types are always fun to get more. I love the mangrove. I hate chopping down the mangrove. its color is really good, so that is a real nice thing to add. You're right in the fact metal would be nice. A block that allows me to rotate stuff could be really cool. You see that in the Create Mon. Basically anything from there would be amazing.
Mm-hmm. Like a new redstone block, like a gear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like a gear would be really cool.
Yeah, gear block would be cool.
As a way to transfer redstone vertically.
Conveyor belt block.
Any of that stuff would be awesome. Building wise, I just don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to think of something different because honestly, you can make any block on Minecraft what you imagine it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's say there's no block that looks like, I don't even know how to put it, but you can make that block look like a certain something with your imagination.
Yeah, you can use andesite to look like stucco.
Yeah, exactly. You don't need a stucco block.
Yeah, which is really just terracotta, so.
Right. But I do like his question. I'm curious if the Discord or anyone else can come up with a pretty unique block they would like to add.
Yes, since we struggled so hard with that question.
Mm-hmm. I'm sticking with the smoke block or fog block, one of the two.
It's a good idea. Let's go ahead and move on to the second question. This comes from Jestix, one of our Channel 64 members, and they ask, lemons could be used or can be used for invisible ink, so they could have a variant of the sweet berry bush with yellow fruit you can harvest and use to make invisible ink. That sounds cool, one, because it adds a new bush to the game, uses a mechanic that's already in the game, so it shouldn't be that hard to add the lemon bush mechanic.
I thought lemons were trees.
They are.
Okay. All right, let's keep that between ourselves.
Yeah, but in making invisible ink is really cool too. The thing is, how would you see the invisible ink?
Well, I could see it kind of like how we said, how we use glow ink to glow item frames. We can make them invisible now with the invisible ink.
Oh, it's like straight up. You're not hiding the ink, you're hiding the item.
Yeah, whatever you put the ink on. Yeah, it makes it invisible.
Mm.
I mean, there's kind of potions for that. All I could think is item frame is what you would ideally use it for.
Yeah, that'd be the most common way.
Maybe chests. Make a chest invisible. That'd be cool.
See, like when it comes to the item frame, I actually like the item frame texture. The only thing I don't like about it is its hitbox being so large.
Right. Yeah, same here.
If I have a sideways chest, which 90% of the time I do, and I put an item frame on it, I have a very little hit range. And on a controller, it's tough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't even use them that way anymore. If I had sideways chest, I can't put them on there.
Yeah, exactly. But I was thinking like writing signs with invisible ink, books and stuff. The way to make invisible ink appear, at least from what I've seen, is you have to add heat somehow. So I guess you'd have to add like a campfire near it or something to get the ink show up.
Mm.
I don't know. It could be a cool way to hide item frames.
Yeah, we have to use a mod to do that now, but it could be an in-game thing.
Mm-hmm.
But we'd have to add lemons first. Lemon bushes.
Not lemon trees.
If you bring in lemon trees, I mean, that creates the opportunity to add like banana trees and apple trees and stuff like that, which would be cool. It's weird having apples just come out of randomly fall out of oak trees, I don't know. So
our wandering trader has a bunch of custom heads that we can trade for. And one of the heads is a bushel of bananas. I traded for as many of those things as I could, and I hung them up in my palm trees.
Yeah.
Looks so good.
I don't know if I've seen it.
It's by the starter house, so if you just walk by, you'll see them.
Yeah, I had to have seen it. Probably just didn't realize what it was.
Probably. Anyways, thank you guys for those questions. Those comments came from our Discord, and it's the only place where you can talk to everyone who works on the show easily. Just take YDYT's word for it.
Hey everyone, I'm YDYT and I'm a member of the Withering Effect Discord. It's a great place to hang out with fellow listeners like me and to the people who work on the show. So join today and let's discuss the game we love. There are links in the show notes.
Thanks for the Discord ad, YDYT, and speaking of the Discord, it's the only place you can get involved in our Mending Minecraft vote. This week we asked you to choose between one of 3 biomes for us to discuss and improve. Your choices were the Snowy Taiga, Bamboo Jungle, or Deep Ocean.
And the winner of Mending Minecraft this week is... Snowy Taiga.
Alright.
Snowy Taiga had 22 votes, Bamboo Jungle with 13, and Deep Ocean with 11. Congratulations, Snowy Taiga. A few things about it before we start. Snowy Taiga is a snow-covered biome that comprises, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, comprises. I've never used that word. Biome that comprises a forest of spruce trees, ferns, and large ferns, usually generating adjacent to or within snowy plains. Structures such as villages, igloos, and pillager outposts can generate here. Now, after doing a little more digging, villages and pillager outposts only generate on Bedrock in this biome. Yeah, for Java players, you won't get any villages or outposts there. Some notable mobs that spawn in the Snowy Taiga are wolves, rabbits, and white foxes. Similar to the taiga biome, the snowy variant can generate ferns, sweetberry bushes, and spruce trees also. I think I mentioned that in the first line. But yeah, same thing as a taiga, just snow.
Just snowy.
That's it.
So I wanted to use the Snowy Taiga as a way to show off more features, because that kind of seems to be the thing Mojang does now when they're putting structures in areas. It's let's try to show off some of the things you can do in Minecraft. So my first thought was log cabins with stripped wood, so then people could learn you can strip logs.
Okay.
I thought that was a cool thing. Maybe make the villages, make villages in Snowy Taiga. Well, I think there are villages in Snowy Taiga, right?
I guess it would be like a snowy plains outside the taiga.
Well, I mean, in your structures, it literally says villages, igloos, villager outposts.
Yeah, in Bedrock. Yeah, you can get that in Bedrock villages.
Okay. Well, yeah, do some log cabins.
Log cabins is perfect for the snowy taiga scene.
Mm-hmm.
I do like that.
My next thing was ice fishing huts.
Yeah.
Finally give the fisherman villager its own structure. I thought that could be very cool and remind people of fishing in Minecraft, because it seems to have been forgotten.
Mm-hmm.
Just could be on a frozen lake, hole in there, you can find a fishing rod. It doesn't have to be big or anything like that. It's just a cool little structure. And finally, instead of adding a mob to this area, I want to add a flower specific to this area. And that's the witch hazel flower. It's a very cool looking flower, but it also has some healing properties. So I thought you could make a potion, and maybe that could resist, what is it when
get withered?
Well, yeah, the withering effect was one I was thinking of, but when the husks hit you, that hunger thing.
Like the ball and chain? That's slowness.
No, that's strays.
Okay. Yeah. Where the hunger becomes green.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure when husks get you.
Is it when they get you? I think it's when you eat rotten flesh.
No, I think that happens too.
Okay.
But I know the husk gives you an effect. Either way, the witch hazel could be crafted into a potion. I don't know, a potion of prevention or something. And it keeps those attacks from actually hurting you. Because we already have a way to get rid of them after they happen. You drink the milk and you're fine. But if you could have a way to prevent something like this from happening, it could be cool.
And potion of prevention just rolls right off the tongue.
It really does. What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've never seen a witch hazel flower.
They only grow in the snowier areas, and they've got kind of like a maroon ball with little yellow dangly bits.
This could possibly give us dye.
Maybe.
I guess, even berries, those sweet berries, you think give us red dye. They don't.
I thought dye originally, but I was like, we don't have too many flowers that have medicine properties, even though that's where we do get a lot of medicine things from.
Yeah, plants.
Herbs, plants, all that stuff. So it's like, why don't we add that into the game a little bit and not just rely fully on magic potions?
Yeah.
Even though you're using this to create a magic potion.
Yeah, dye's too easy.
Yeah.
That's too easy. This is Mending Minecraft.
Mm-hmm.
There's not much in the Discord about it.
No.
No one wanted to change it. They wanted to see us change it.
They did. I really think the things I've added could be cool. They're not showstoppers. They're not going to make you want to run to the area. Maybe the witch hazel would, but I thought they were great add-ons to the area without really changing a ton of stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, the only thing really unique about it is the snow fox.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only place you can find it. So it does have that going for it.
Nice.
Well, the white fox. Yeah, snow fox.
Hmm.
Trying to think if there's anything else I could add. I'm sure there's more, but
Yeah, when I really was thinking about it, I was coming up with some crazy stuff, like especially when it came to mobs and stuff. And I just wanted to peel it back and not get too crazy. Let's really think about what Minecraft needs at this point and what direction Mojang's already taking it. So that's where the log cabins and fishing hut came from. And then I thought we could use some more potions and stuff. And that's when I thought, well, instead of a mob, let's add a flower. Because flowers have medicinal properties, or some flowers have medicinal properties. And yeah, it worked out pretty well, I think.
mm-hmm.
But I think that's going to do it for the show. Before I have Jimbo read us out, I want to say a huge thank you to all of our patrons who are supporting the show. Our milk level patrons are Arrington, Omni, Bobo Plays Games, Fragile Rock, Casey Plays Games, Loki, and Viper's Tuna. If you too would like to get access to exclusive benefits and extra content each month, please consider joining at patreon.com/The Withering Effect.
And if you like the show, you can share it with all of your friends and on social media. If you listen on Spotify, rate and follow so you never miss a future episode. Or if you listen on Apple Podcasts, leave us a nice review. Doing any of these really helps the show reach more listeners. If you'd like to get in contact with us, send an email to podcast@thewitheringeffect.com. Tweet us, leave a voice message, or join our Discord where you can have a chat with everyone who works on the show and fellow listeners. All the links are in the show notes.
This show has been brought to you by Jimbo and myself, but also our digital producer Carl. He helps make sure the show ends up where it should be, and the amazing music you hear throughout the show is created by the one and only Decoy. Everyone's social media info can be found in the show notes. You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much for getting withered with us. You should probably go drink some milk now. Bye!
See you guys.